This is something that I've been avoiding for years, and today is finally the day. For a long time, I kept telling myself this story, that I was a great dancer. Not just, oh, I'm having fun. I mean, I genuinely believed that I was good, like really good. And I held onto that belief for years. It felt right. It felt like something solid about me. And one day, I saw the truth, but it also changed the way I think about everything. Welcome back to another episode of This is Hazel. So, let me explain. I danced for years. I trained seriously. I took classes consistently. I showed up every single week. And to be fair, it wasn't just in my head. The people around me reinforced it. My friends told me I was good. Teachers used me as an example in the class, like you have to make a project like this. I was labeled the good student. You know that label, the one that makes you feel really proud, but also makes you feel like you have to keep proving that. I carried that identity for a long time. Recently, I started taking ballet classes again, and at that studio I saw a notice. A contemporary dance team was holding auditions. The second I saw it, I just thought, this is for me. This is my moment. I should go for it. Okay, do I have some incredible dance resume? No, honestly, I don't have anything, nothing at all. So yeah, it was probably a little reckless, I know that, but still I applied. The audition required a video submission, which meant I had to go back and watch my old dance videos. I was actually excited at first. I started digging through all the folders buried in my phone, clips from when I trained intensely, more recent freestyle videos or random rehearsal videos that I had. I even said, okay, the video was supposed to be at least 5 minutes to 10, 12 minutes. When I collected all the videos, that was just 3-4 minutes. So that was not long enough. So I set up a camera at home and filmed new footage because I felt like I didn't have enough material to show. So yeah, and then like I danced freestyle. I told myself, okay, today is the day. Watch everything, pick the best parts, film what you need if you need more, edit everything nicely. Easy. So I started watching the older videos from when I was training really hard. Honestly, not bad. I could see that. I could see what I was doing. The effort, the movement. And then I got to the more recent ones. And yeah, there was a gap, a very obvious gap between what I thought I looked like and what I actually looked like. I know, it makes sense if I attach that video here, but I'm not going to show you a footage. I'm not going to share this with you guys. This is not a reaction video. Don't ask me to show that dancing video. But I will say it was humbling. I wasn't as good as I thought I was. Yes, and that hit harder than expected. Not just because of dance, but because of what it meant. It made me question something bigger. What does it even mean to be good? Okay, trust me, because back then, I was good. Everyone said I was good. I really believed that I was talented. But when I watched the exact same thing again, same video, same movement again, it wasn't good as much as it was. And I had this thought, okay, what did those people see in me back then? You know, like, as an example, I love 90s and 80s fashion, okay? But when you look at your mom's old wedding photos and you're like, wait, what did you do with your makeup? It looks a bit weird. Then you realize, oh, that was pretty at that time. That's what it was. Back then, doing it that way meant you were good. Like, really. But what is that for? How many things do we avoid trying because we're scared we will not be good at them? How many things we used to love do we avoid revisiting because we're afraid we're not as good as we used to be? We treat being good like it's the goal. Like if you're not good, it's pointless. But that's such a trap. Watching those old videos made me realize that good is a moving target. What I thought was good at 19 is different from what I think is good now. And 5 years from now, today's version of good will probably look different too. The standard keeps shifting, so if you're chasing good, you're chasing something that never stays still. I used to think being the good student meant something real, like it proved I was talented, ahead, doing things right. But now, it just feels like a measurement someone gave me at one point in time. That's it. And I started noticing that pattern everywhere in my life. I do a lot of different things. I teach Korean language, I work on design projects, I have this YouTube channel. On this channel, I've obsessed over making every sentence perfect. Because I've made mistakes before, mispronounced the words, small grammar mistakes, and after that, I became even more careful. No awkward pauses, no visible flaws. If I'm gonna post something, it has to be good, right? Same with my classes or my projects. Something I'd hold back from saying something because I didn't want to say it wrong. If it's not perfect, I'd rather keep it. I'd rather not show it at all. And I realized all of that was performance. Not necessarily for other people, but for this image of myself as someone who is good, I was trying to protect that identity. Maybe I treated effort like a transaction. If I work this hard, I deserve this result. If I put in this many hours, I should make this. But that's not how it works. Sometimes you give everything and you still don't get the outcome you want. So was all that effort wasted? No, the effort was the point. My early 20s were filled with late nights in dance studios because I wanted to be better. And all the dance videos that I deleted because they weren't perfect. That wasn't wasted time. And honestly, when I watched my old dance videos, the thing that stood out the most wasn't the technique. It was that I looked happy. You could see that I love dancing. You could see that I was trying so hard. I know how hard I practiced. And I was there. Maybe the standard of good depends on when you're looking and how you're looking. And if that's true, maybe we don't need to cling so tightly to being good right now. So if you have something you've been avoiding, your old project, your old hobby, or your old version of yourself that feels a little embarrassing, go back and look at it. Not to judge, not to cringe at it, just to see it for what it was. That was you trying, and trying is brave. Your definition of good will change. It always does. What looked amazing 5 years ago might make you smile now. What you're proud of today might look different 10 years from now. So don't wait till you're good enough. Don't hide the messy, imperfect, still growing version of yourself. The goal isn't to be good. I think the goal is to try, to be in it, to be alive in it. And by the way, if you ever want to leave a comment here or reach out to me, but if you're hesitating because your English might not be perfect or you're worried if your words will not sound right, just do it. Because always, I'm happy to see them. Let's keep this space judgment-free. It's a judgment-free zone. Thank you for listening today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
First of all, let me say I must apologize for acting stink and treating you this way. Cause I've been acting like sour milk all on the floor. Took all you didn't shut the refrigerator. Maybe that's the reason I've been acting so cold. If I could escape and recreate a place as my own world, where I could be your favorite girl forever, perfectly together. Tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? Life could be sweet. I know I've been a real bad girl. I didn't mean for you to get hurt whatsoever. We can make it better. Tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet?